You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
It brings to mind some of those scenes in the TV show Breaking Bad. Good evening, I'm Brittany Merleau. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Darwin Minnis. DeKalb police say they uncovered what looks like a small meth lab just off the NIU campus. NTC reporter Trey Ward tells us it was inside a DeKalb hotel.
That hotel is right behind me. Travel in on Lincoln Highway, across the street from the NIU's campus. Here's what the police are telling us. Yesterday, they got a tip. They came here and searched a dumpster where they say they found various drug paraphernalia. That led them to a room inside the hotel where they say they made a much bigger discovery. They say someone was actually using the room to cook up methamphetamine, the same drug that was at the center of the wildly popular TV show Breaking Bad. That someone is 29-year-old man named Thomas M. Wilkinson. Wilkinson is in the DeKalb County Jail tonight on $200,000 bail. DeKalb police called in a special state police response team to help them investigate this case. That investigation is continuing, and police say there may be more arrests. That's all we have for now. From the Travel Inn in DeKalb, I'm Trey Ward, NTC News.
Thanks, Trey. Well, there's more troubling news just a few blocks away. At the NIU parking garage just off Lincoln Highway, a young woman lost her life Friday afternoon after she jumped from the top of the west side of the structure. It happened around 2:30. Paramedics rushed her to Kishwaukee Hospital, but she died there. Police are calling it a suicide. They are not releasing her name. The woman was not a student or an NIU employee.
A high-profile research project run by NIU scientists has been canceled for the season.
NTC's Sabrina Bennett has a story on this consequence of the federal government shutdown.
The government shutdown came at the worst possible time for a group of NIU scientists studying the effects of climate change in Antarctica. The shutdown led the National Science Foundation to decide that there was not enough time or resources to transport scientists and equipment with the time left for the season. The NSF funded the $10 million project known as WIZARD that specializes in hot water drilling through the West Antarctic ice sheets. In the final season of a 10-year research project, scientists were going to investigate the grounding zone and the stability of the West Antarctic ice sheets. Take a look behind me. I'm standing here at the NIU laboratory where NIU scientists and researchers bring back their findings. But unfortunately, this season has been put on ice. For scientists, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
And the chances that we can just pick it up next year and do it again next year is entirely unclear at this point. We're hopeful, but it's probably I don't even want to put odds on it.
The news is just starting to settle for one NIU graduate student.
I think we had all invested so much into the project that we really haven't given much thought to, anything else for a long time.
For now, Scherer will take it one step at a time until he can submit another proposal for funding for the following season. In DeKalb, Sabrina Bennett, NTC News.
The NIU research program has to formally submit another proposal to the National Science Foundation to consideration for the following season.
The fire department is still investigating a house fire that caused nearly $175,000 in damage last week. The fire happened early Friday morning on Haish Boulevard in DeKalb's south side. It looks like it started in the basement of the home. By the time the firefighters arrived, the flames had engulfed the house. Residents were home, but they managed to get out. After 6 hours of fighting the fire, it was finally put out, but it is unlikely the home will be repaired.
We have another drug case to tell you about. A man from Chicago is under arrest after DeKalb police say he sold and then prepared marijuana. Court records show 18-year-old Frederick Dennis had about 20 grams of marijuana split between 26 bags. If he's convicted, Dennis could face up to 5 years in prison.
The search for Buddy the dog is still going on. Buddy disappeared last week after his owner was involved in a car accident on Fairview Avenue near the Nestle warehouse. The dog apparently got spooked and ran off. Volunteers have actually organized searches in the area with no luck. Buddy is a Beagle Jack Russell with light blue collar. If you have seen him, call police at 815-748-8400.
Let's keep with the theme. The DeKalb Park District has approved a dog park to be built.
For years, people have had to travel elsewhere to take their pups to parks. But NTC reporter Jodi says that may be changing.
DeKalb has over 40 parks in the city, and not one of them is for dogs. Owners claim that the closest dog parks are in Rockford and Campton Hills, and for many years have been trying to get a dog park in DeKalb.
There's more people probably in DeKalb that have pets than children, and they also need places to recreate, and they pay taxes here, and this is a very prudent and good use of the taxpayers' money.
According to the Park District, there are over 13,500 registered dogs in DeKalb, and even board members believe that the dog park is necessary.
For some people, the dogs are like their kids, their friends and that. So a lot of support for that.
The Park District recently approved for a dog park to be built, and now the location is under discussion among dog owners. The first location in mind was the 13-acre space next to DeKalb High School on Dresser Road. But now, owners have been looking into Rotary Park, which is on the far east side of the city, and has a lagoon so the dogs will be able to swim.
Certain dogs, such as golden retrievers, are water dogs and need a place like a lagoon here that Rotary Park provides.
With growing support from owners, it looks like a dog park will be in DeKalb soon, and Phil Young believes it'll be here by springtime. At Rotary Park in DeKalb, I'm Jodi, NTC News Tonight.
Discussions between dog owners and the Park District will continue in these next months.
Before we go any further, let's get a look at our weather window for today and tomorrow.
Jodi Wright is here now. Tell us how it's going to be for this Halloween weekend.
It's not going to be pretty, but hopefully into Saturday we'll see that sun come out. Let's take a look at our temperatures in our area. Throughout the area, we're going to see temps in the mid-50, and in Kankakee, they're going to have the highest temp at 57 degrees. However, there will be widespread rain tomorrow. Stay with us. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
Hey! Turn here. There. Hey. Excuse me.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this beautiful sunny day. Unfortunately, it won't be like this for the week. Today we saw a high of 55 degrees, but the wind is pretty gusty out there, so hold on to your hats. The sunset tonight is getting into our 5 o'clock hour, and we're going to see a sunset at 5:54 p.m. Wow. Into tonight, we're going to see those mostly cloudy skies, and the wind will still be a problem, so don't blow away. For tomorrow, we will have a 30% chance of rain as this rain lingers in our area. And then into Wednesday, that rain will increase to a 60% chance of rain. On to Thursday for Halloween, we'll be sitting in a low pressure system, and our rain chance will be up to 80%. So make sure you go purchase those clear ponchos so everyone can still see your Halloween costume. Tonight we'll have mostly cloudy skies, and those winds will get gusty up to 15 miles per hour. Into tomorrow we'll have mostly cloudy skies as well, and that rain will move into our area. But fortunately we'll see a high of 54 degrees. For tomorrow night, the clouds will stick around and we'll have a low of 47 degrees. On to my 5-day forecast, we'll be seeing rain throughout the week, and the temperatures will rise into Wednesday and then unfortunately get cooler towards the weekend. And then on to Saturday, that sun will try to make a reappearance. That's it for weather. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Jodi. I'll definitely remember my umbrella when I'm hitting those haunted houses.
Illinois has a new woman chief justice.
And prisoners are seeing budget cuts while overtime for prison guards has increased. These are today's state lines.
Rita Garman is the new Chief Justice of Illinois Supreme Court. She's replacing Justice Thomas Kilbride, who served 3 years as Chief Justice. Kilbride goes back to his Associate Justice post. Garman is the second woman to hold the post of Chief Justice in Illinois.
Overtime for Illinois prison guards jumped up 34% last year, even with the state struggling in an overcrowded prison. An Associated Press analysis says current employees made $62 million in overtime this last fiscal year. Governor Pat Quinn has decided to close some facilities because of budget reasons.
Motorcycle safety classes that have been taught at Illinois State University for nearly 4 decades are being dropped. The program has certified more than 80,000 people over the years. The director hopes another university picks them up in the spring.
An anonymous donor has stepped forward with more than $30,000 to pay overdue bills for 2 cash-strapped women's shelters in Chicago. The money will pay for the shelter's heating bills. People's Gas had turned off one shelter's gas earlier this month, and those are today's state lines.
More spying disclosures, and this is furious.
And Michael Jackson's doctor is a free man. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
America's ambassador to Spain has some answering to do. Spain's government has called for an explanation after reports that the National Security Agency tracked about 60 million phone calls in that country in just 1 month. The claims are based on classified documents leaked by former NSA contractor Edward Snowden.
Conrad Murray was freed after serving 2 years of a 4-year sentence. California prison rules allowed for the early release by giving additional credit for served time. Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter after a jury found him guilty of administering a lethal dose of painkillers.
At least 25 women in Saudi Arabia defied authorities by getting behind the wheel of a car over the weekend. Police spokesman says 5 female drivers were stopped and made to sign a pledge not to drive again. They were then released to their male guardians. The driving demonstration was a part of the campaign to end the ban on women drivers.
Rock legend Lou Reed has died. He was 71. Reed was a rock pioneer who went from record label songwriter to a member of the short-lived but influential rock band Velvet Underground. In 1970, Reed began a long solo career, turning out classics Walk on the Wild Side and Sweet Jane. And that's today's World Watch.
Hey everyone, we're back and we had yet another great week of sports with our NIU Huskies winning the 8th straight win on the season coming against Eastern Michigan Eagles. It's another great weekend for the Husky football as they get ready to face off against EMU. Jordan Lynch is looking to have yet another amazing game as the Huskies get ready to tip off. In the first quarter, the Huskies are in the red zone and Lynch throws a touchdown pass to Deron Brown to put the Huskies on the scoreboard first, 7-0. Next series, Tommy Lewis comes in motion, takes the ball first, avoids the first defender, and takes it 55 yards down the field, all the way into Eagles territory. A couple plays later, Lynch fakes the ball to the back and rolls to the right, then throws it back to the running back in the end zone for the touchdown. Now it's a 14-0 lead. Still in the first quarter, Lynch fakes the ball to the receiver and decides to keep it for himself. He heads to the middle, cuts it to the left, and gets 2 key blocks as he easily runs into the end zone for the easy score. The score is now 21-0. With the 3-touchdown lead, it looks like yet another high-scoring game for our NIU Husky football team. Lynch hands the balls off as he gets ready to go to the sideline. Beginning of the second quarter, Lynch hands the ball off to Lewis, the back, and sneaks behind the defense for the pass from Lewis. He avoids 4 defenders as he go in for the touchdown. Husky go for the win, 59-20. Yesterday was Game 4 of the World Series, which had an amazing ending. Top of the 6th, there is 2 on base and 2 out, and Johnny Gomes is off the hit. He hits the ball, and he gets ready for a 3-run homer to put the Sox on top 4-1 in the top of the 6th inning. After being tied 1-1, the Red Sox are up with 3 innings left in the game. In the 9th inning, Koji Yohara picks off Colton Wong, the rookie pinch runner for the St. Louis Cardinals, making it the final out of the game to give them the 4-2 win. And all Carlos Beltran can do is look as the game comes to a close with a surprising end. The Red Sox win 4-2, tying the series up 2 games apiece, with the Red Sox celebrating the victory. The Bears had a bye weekend this past week, where we still had a division matchup this past weekend between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. At the start of kickoff, the Packers kick it off to the Vikings as the returner avoids 4 possible tackles and sprints past the kicker with the go-ahead first score of the game for the Minnesota Vikings. It was a 109 kickoff return by wide receiver Cordell Patterson. Second quarter, 10-10, Packers ball, and Aaron Rodgers passes the ball to Jordy Nelson, who avoids the first tackle and jukes the second defender, and being chased by the Minnesota Vikings defense all the way for the touchdown for the score. The ball is fielded in the 7-yard line as Micah Hyde goes straight through the defenders. All that is left to do is beat the punter, which he does, and as he walks in for the 9-3 punt return touchdown, the score is 24-10 Green Bay Packers. Packers are in the lead 24-17. Rodgers hands the ball up to Eddie Lacy for the 1-yard touchdown, and Packers go on to win the game 44-31. Yesterday, the women's soccer team came up with a close win against the Ohio Bobcats, winning 2-1, clinching them a spot in the MAC championships. Upcoming games for this week will be the men's soccer game on Wednesday at 7 p.m. against Milwaukee, volleyball on Thursday at 6 p.m. against Western Michigan, and the women's soccer game at home against Toledo. Now let's get to the play of the day. The play of the day comes from the Detroit Lions. With 30 seconds left in the game, Matthew Stafford drops back to throw the ball to Calvin Johnson, which he makes it to the 1-yard line. With no timeouts left, Stafford hurries the offense to come up to have yet another possible score to come back and win the game. As everybody comes up, Matthew Stafford hurries up and hikes the ball and goes in for the 1-yard touchdown. As the defenders is taking their time to get ready, Stafford noticed that they weren't ready and used it to get a quick score to tie the game up, 30-30. Excitement's all around for the Lions as they know they're going to possibly win a game. All that's left to do is make the go-ahead kick.
When we come back, it's a surfer's dream come true. 14-foot waves, but no ocean breeze, because this isn't the ocean. In fact, it's closer than you may think, and we'll explain.
Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to like, do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Intense winds whipped up high waves in Michigan this past weekend. Areas around Muskogee recorded winds peaking at 60 miles per hour. The high winds created good conditions for surfers. Areas along the lakeshore saw waves between 12 and 14 feet. Port Sheldon reported waves as high as 17.5 feet this morning. Winds are expected to gradually calm down this week.
wow, it looks like it'd be so cold riding in those waves at this time of year.
Yeah, surfing on Lake Michigan would be pretty awesome if it wasn't that cold. NTC News is a student production here at Northern Illinois University. We want to thank you all for being with us.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back the same time Wednesday, and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for more of those news updates. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.